Okay, so we have discussed theory, so let's write some script. Create file ip.sh and on the first line start with shebang bin bash. Now your target is to provide one word or sentence as an argument to this script. If in that sentence will be IP address, find out if that IP address is reachable or not. That means that you need to create script which takes one argument, and if in that argument is somewhere present IP address, you need to find out if that IP address is reachable or not. As we need exactly one argument, we can start with argument check. So if $hash, which means number of arguments, if it is not equal to 1, then we can print echo provide exactly one argument, e.g. $0, which means our script name, and some argument. We can also exit with status 1 here. Now we can assign first argument to variable called var1, and we can now write regular expression for IP address. I will also do some comment here. IP address regex. So we know that IP address has 4 parts of digits divided by dot. And I think it will be best to write some example here, some example of IP address. There is good to know that each part of that IP address can have 1 up to 3 digits, and digits only. So in the first part we have range 0 to 9, and it will be repeated 1 to 3 times. So I will put 1,3 into curly brackets. Then we have dot, but dot is a special character, which means any character. So we need to use backslash before dot, and by that we are telling that this dot is only classical normal dot without any special effects. Now we can continue with second part, which is same as the first one, and the same we can do also for the third part. So range 0 to 9 and repeat 1 to 3 times. For the fourth part, we can also, instead of range in square brackets, use special character class called digit. As this class represents any number, and we will also repeat this digit 1 to 3 times. And now we can finally do some regex check to see if in that argument is IP address provided or not. So write if, and inside square brackets write var1 equal sign and after equal sign tilde, and our variable with regular expression. Now we are basically asking if IP address is found, and if yes, do something. But better would be to ask immediately if IP is not found. And in that case, exit the script. So for that reason, I am putting exclamation mark before square brackets. Basically, I am doing negation. So if there is no IP address found, we can print to users echo no IP address provided, and we can also exit with status 2. Now, if the script won't be exited here, we are sure that some IP address was found and would be good to store it into variable, for example, IP. For that, we will use, for that IP address, we will use bash rematch 0. Do you remember on the theory I told you about that? As bash rematch 0 matches always the regex we have specified. And be careful how you write bash rematch, as there are both curly and square brackets. Now, we need to find if that IP address is reachable or not. How to do that? We will use ping command. I will firstly write some comment, find if IP address is reachable or not. And on the next line, we can do ping command. But I have here a red text, which means that something is wrong. And yes, I have mistake in if statement. I didn't use $sign before variable. So I will just fix it now. And we can continue with ping command. We will ping 4 times our IP address. So I will use ping with parameter C, and that parameter C means how many packets do we want to send. Now, if that ping command was successful, we will assign into variable status some message. So if exit status is 0, then we assign into status variable message alive. And if ping was not successful, we will assign into status message dead or not reachable. And now we can print echo IP found, and we specify our IP address, so $IP, and in parentheses we put our status, the status of that IP address. We can save the script and grant execute permission. We can run the script with 1 argument. Oh, I forgot to properly call the script, so once time more. Great, no IP address provided, it works perfectly. I can try now without any arguments. And great, I have message to provide exactly 1 argument. Now I can try with 2 arguments. And we have message provide exactly 1 argument. Great. Now let's put as an argument your computer localhost IP address. And we see the ping output, and at the end we have message IP found with status alive. Great. But I don't like to see that ping output. Last sentence would be enough. So I think that we can go back to our script and we will redirect standard output displayed to screen to dev null. So after ping command, write 1, which means standard output, and redirect it to dev null. Thanks to that, we won't see any ping output. So let's try it out. But now, as an argument, I will use some sentence, which can represent, for example, one line from your company document with IP addresses description. And of course, we need to find out if IP address is present here and if it is reachable. So I have specified some sentence with IP address in it. And we can run it. And great, we see IP found and it is alive. So now we can change the sentence to something else and mainly change the IP address to be not reachable. Now we need to wait. And yes, IP was found, but it is dead, not reachable. Maybe you don't like to wait so long for ping response, so you can change ping parameter C and run it again. So after a few seconds, we should see the exact same response. That IP was found and it is dead. So we have now learned how to use regular expressions in our scripts, and I will wait for you in next lecture.